The checks are in the mail. The coronavirus relief checks, that is. The IRS sent out the first wave of them this week. Yesterday, the agency tweeted that it will issue payments as fast as it can. The first payouts will go to people who have filed tax returns for 2018 and 19 and authorized direct deposits. So when will more funding come? Well, talks on Capitol Hill for another $250 billion in relief have stopped. Republicans and Democrats are at loggerheads over small business lending and over funds for state and local governments. Let's bring in our next panel to answer more of your economic questions. Joining us now are CNBC senior personal finance correspondent Sharon Epperson and NBC national political reporter Josh Lederman. Good to see you both. Josh, let me start with a question for you from Jamie. Jamie asks, I've not filed my 2019 taxes yet, and most years I owe money. So my bank info is not on file with the IRS. I read a couple weeks ago that the federal government was going to create a website for Americans to go to and input their direct deposit info with the IRS. Has this happened yet? And if not, is the website still coming? And when? I cannot wait 20 months for the relief check. Josh?
Great question. And there are two websites we want to be clear to people. There's one that's an IRS website for people who don't normally file tax returns, but are going to need to file what they're calling a simple tax return in order to get the coronavirus stimulus payments. That website is up. You can fill out that form now. There is a separate web portal that the Treasury Department is going to be working on where people who do not have their bank account information on file with the IRS, they filed their tax return, but maybe they owed money instead of getting a refund, where they can update the IRS with their correct bank account information to get that money direct deposited as soon as possible. That website will be up by Friday, according to IRS officials. Both of those websites, you'll be able to find them by going to irs.gov/coronavirus.
Yeah, I'm just looking on the web right now. If you go to irs.gov on the homepage, there's a link that says Get Coronavirus Tax Relief. And then if you click that, there's a link that says what you need to know about payments. Click that and you can see if you're eligible for a payment. You can get your information, enter your payment info here. So it should be fairly easy to click through from the homepage. Josh, let me stick with you with one more question. Ron asks, the current backlog for processing claims is 3 to 5 weeks. The CARES Act bumped up unemployment, but it doesn't do any good if a state cannot process the claims. How are people to survive? Josh?
Yeah, this has been a huge problem for people trying to apply for unemployment because there's the perfect storm of the fact that the unemployment system is inundated by these tens of millions of applications. They also have to update all of their systems to account for this new federal additional unemployment that was created by Congress. And on top of that, all of the people from your local state unemployment office, they're stuck at home working from home too, trying to deal with their kids and everything else. And so it's been difficult. We encourage people to be patient as these state unemployment offices take a few more weeks to process these claims and get up and running. But of course, if you're someone who's been laid off and you need that money now, that patience is not going to be something that's easy to come by.
Sharon, we got a number of questions from people like Michelle who had very specific questions about their specific filing situations. She and her husband filed in 2018, but they tried to file ASAP for 2019 because their income has changed. Their 2 adult kids filed separately, so they should now qualify for stimulus checks. Michelle wants to know, Sharon, if the government's going to use the 2019 taxes and how long she has for the accountant to use the 2019 taxes before they can be issued checks. Sharon?
Well, it's smart to look at what tax return is going to give you that benefit. And of course, if you made less money in 2019, you want the IRS to look at that. As of Friday, according to their website, they are looking at 2019 tax returns first. And then if you don't have that, they'll go to the 2018 tax return. So it's imperative for her accountant to get that tax return in quickly. As you said, some of those direct deposits have already started to be made into accounts. And so you want that $1,200 check or $2,400 if you're a married couple. You need to make sure you have your 2019 tax return filed if that's the one you want them to use.
One last quick question, Sharon. Chris asked, I've heard finance experts address those concerned with making contributions to 401ks at this time. Remark, if there is time, then stay in. I have not heard what to do if you're 62, 65, or 68 and still working and not taking any payouts. Do we continue to contribute also, Sharon?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're in your 60s, you still could likely have decades in so-called retirement when you're not working. And so you're going to want to have money somewhere that's growing. It's not growing now, we know this, but it will over time. And so contributing to your 401k is a way that you can do that. You should put money in other investment accounts if you have extra money to do so. Definitely contribute to your 401k, at least up to the company's matching contribution, because some companies are taking that away. And then also, if you can, max out, put in the 19,500 that you can do, or the extra 6,500 if you're 50 or older, and try to put as much money in your account as you can, because right now stocks are low, prices are low, and you want to buy as much as you can for the time when the market recovers, and you can see that growth in that account.
CNBC's Sharon Epperson and NBC's Josh Letterman. Sharon, Josh, thank you both very much. We will answer more of your medical questions before we go. The rapid fire round is next.